The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Go to the church, though.
Tawali man, what's up?
Man, can you imagine people just dump everywhere? Someone drinks water and throws the bottle wherever.
Come on, Rogers. What else do you expect people to do with an empty bottle?
Simanya now, recorder. Do you know that plastics take at least 450 years to decompose?
What? That's a long time.
Exactly. Because plastics are made out of a lightweight and flexible material that doesn't decompose easily. And plastics everywhere in the environment cause plastic pollution.
What is plastic pollution now?
It is the accumulation of plastic waste in the environment, like bottles, polythene bags, straws. All of these contribute to plastic pollution.
I have been using them without knowing their effect.
Yeah, a lot of people have. Plastics are a danger to the ecosystem, both on land and in water.
So how can we overcome this problem? Is there something we can do?
Oh yes, we can reduce by minimizing the use of plastics, reuse by repurposing them, or recycle by collecting and processing them into new products.
Everyone wants to change the world, but no one wants to change themselves for the world.
How about we change our habits for the world?
And it starts with me and you.
This message is brought to you by Alternative Digitalk.
Hi, Rogers. Can I ask you something?
Shoot.
What does corruption mean?
Well, summarily, corruption is abuse of public power for personal gain or for the benefit of a group to which one owes allegiance. For example, when a public office is abused by an official accepting or soliciting a bribe. By the way, private people can be corrupt too, like bribing police officers to escape fines.
Okay. So exactly how does that concern me?
Well, do you pay taxes?
I guess, yeah. What does that have to do with this?
Everything. Because those taxes you pay are supposed to facilitate services you use, like water, electricity, roads construction, medicines in hospitals, name it.
Okay, that is much bigger than I thought. But it can be stopped, right?
Well, yes it can, although it may not be as easy as it sounds. And here is the reason why. Corruption roots are grounded in our country's social, political, economic, bureaucratic traditions and policies.
So, what has kept it going this long? I mean, why don't we stop it?
Well, the main reason why it has been here for so long is because institutions are weak, either as a result of poorly defined ethical standards of public service, weak administrative and financial systems, or ineffective watchdog agencies.
What can we do to stop it?
At a national level, we must focus on strengthening the independence and effectiveness of public institutions that fight corruption. At a personal level, we must commit to never giving a bribe.
I promise I'll never give a bribe.
Well, that's a great decision you have made. Me and you now have to spread this message to all our friends. If we all do our part, corruption will be no more.
This message is brought to you by Alternative Digitalk. The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Mighty Global News Updates. Welcome and a good morning to your viewer for tuning in to the Alternative Dig Talk TV. My name is Kenneth Rwemirembo, and this time we always come in here to give you all the information that is happening in Uganda and even take you outside this country. To keep you informed is our aim always, and always after this segment we always bring in guests who can contribute to the country, Uganda, who can contribute to the entire world. We believe in a better place that you and I play a part. You and I have to play a part in doing this and bringing it to a reality where we achieve all the success we desire as a country. Now, good morning. I believe you're having a good day out there if it is not moving as you expect. We do pray that God helps you achieve all the best out of this day. Where you feel like giving up, we pray that God enables you to achieve all the success. Now let me take you through the stories that are shaping conversations this morning here in our country, Uganda. And I will take you to Tanzania. You know what's happening there. Yesterday we saw Samia, the president, now again, Samia Suluhu Hassan sworn in as Tanzania's president. We'll be talking about that, but let me start the mighty global news updates with this story of here, our brothers and sisters in Kampala. The business community, the business owners are still not sweet towards the government for what they say that they have been neglected. This comes after floods entered the buildings and destroyed goods worth millions of shillings. Very many business people lost a lot of money over there. We saw actually floods to almost going to the second floor of the buildings. The basements were full, the first floors were full, and many items were lost, items valued highly, worth millions of money. Now the business community there was asking the government to step in as quickly as possible to make sure at least they are compensated in one way or the other. We talked about it yesterday, but the executive director KCCA had gone there to see the extent of damage and to find out the possible ways the government could come in and help here and there. Now the government has accepted to compensate these business owners. Yesterday they had a meeting with the officials from the Kampala Capital City Authority, KCCA, and they were not sweet, they were bitter. Of course, they exchanged their bitter truth. They were saying that they have not been helped by the taxes they pay, a lot of them, a lot of taxes paid to the URA, but they are not seeing that money reflected in the services they do receive. And through the executive director KCCA, Sharifa Buzeki, the Prime Minister sent a message to these business owners that the government was thinking about them and they will be compensated. Now the business owners say that if the compensation is going to happen, it should be done in the right way, and the people supposed to get the money should be the ones actually to get the money, not the money going to people who actually are not even victims of the flooding. They also insist that Hamis Chugundu should stop the constructions that are ongoing on the Nakivubo drainage channel, where they say all of these challenges are coming from. That before the construction of the Nakivubo drainage channel, the floods were not reaching that extent. To see that floods are going high and high in heights, covering the basement, covering the first floor of the building, that has never happened before, and that this is because the constructions happening at Nakivubo drainage channel have blocked the water that used to flow through that channel, and now all the water is blocked and it is forced now to enter the buildings and forcing these business people to lose millions of money. That is it. And we saw a group actually of some business owners suing, heading to court. They said they are suing NEMA and KCCA for neglecting their statutory duties, that is to regulate, supervise, among other duties. They are saying that KCCA and NEMA did not work as needed. Hamis Chugundu would not have carried out any activity at all Nakivubo drainage channel if these institutions had actually stepped in as early as possible to make sure that is solved. Now, yesterday still, I told you that the P7 candidates were starting their final examinations that end their primary life, now introducing them to secondary, that is the primary living examinations. Yesterday, the turn-up was really high according to the reports coming in from the UNEB officials. Largely the exercise went on well. Those who were sitting their examinations sat well. No outstanding cases have been identified or major challenges observed there, according to the UNEB officials. All cars that were carrying examinations were given clear of way and had security escorts to make sure that at least these exams reached their destinations without anyone tampering with them. The UNEP officials say they faced just minimal challenges, that largely the first day was very successful. Now they are finalizing today. This year, 885 pupils are sitting, compared to last year where 797,444 sat. That means now we've had a 2.5% increase from the number of pupils that sat last year, and now that are sitting this time round. This shows an increment and a plus to our education here in the country, Uganda. Much as there have been reports saying that most of these pupils actually stop there, some due to financial challenges that they do not manage. A large percentage do not even get a chance to reach secondary. Others have a lot of challenges, including early pregnancies that do disrupt especially the girls, and now end their education as early as their P7. They only stop there, and we urge the parents not to at least give out their daughters. Don't give out your daughter, let her study. And the sons, please don't take them to do business, just help at home. If that time for continuing studies, let them study. You never know what tomorrow may bring. All these were sitting in 16,140 examination centers in the country, and we continue to wish all the best to the primary 7 candidates in the country. We wish you the very best. And that is it. Now, at least 16 have been confirmed dead in the Sebei sub-region following the landslides that occurred in those particular areas of Kweni and Kapchorwa. Many people died there. The Minister for Disaster Preparedness yesterday was there, that is Minister Lilian Abel, and promised that the government was working so hard to make sure everything is put under control. Now, the Prime Minister had sent in some soldiers to help out dig those that are under debris down there in mud that are still stuck there. And of course, people were saying that the number of the soldiers sent is not enough. Even the equipment or tools they are using are not serving as now they are not enough, and they need more equipment, such as even excavators to help remove out those bodies that are still stuck down there. That is it there. The government has promised that another land is being organized. The people where these people in risk areas will be now shifted to, and they also urged them not to stay in risky places. Whoever is in a place that is risky should get out as soon as possible. And that is it coming from there. Not good news at all. And we do pray for those deceased. May their souls rest in peace. And we continue to pray for those at least who are still there, that may God protect them. Now heading to elections. We are still in the 2026 general elections. Every presidential candidate, praying so hard, fighting very hard to make sure he steps into office come 2026. Now, yesterday, Kyagulanyi, after going to Butambala and Gomba, he is now heading to Zimbabwe and Lyantonde. Thousands were there to welcome him, and he asked the people of those particular areas, that is Butambala and Gomba, where he was, to support the National Unity Platform and remove who he calls the dictator, meaning President Yoweri Museveni. He promised them that everything will be better if they vote the National Unity Platform and vote him as the President of the Republic of Uganda. Every presidential candidate is fighting really hard, and we promise to always bring you that information because you need this information, the information you need to rely on to make an informed decision. Now, also Gregory Mugisha Muntoera, the presidential candidate and flag bearer for the Alliance for National Transformation, was in Nakaseke Nandala Nathan Mafabi of the Forum for Democratic Changes was in Agago, all asking people of those particular areas to vote them come 2026. And also President Museveni was in Serere and Soroti, where he reminded the people of those areas of the gains they have to protect. President Museveni is now talking about the gains achieved by the NRM that they want to protect. He talked about peace. He talked about how those areas were backward before the NRM intervention and that now they are seeing a very bright future there. They should vote the NRM to protect those gains. Now in our international news, Tanzania's President, Her Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan, was sworn in yesterday after garnering over 98% of the elections in the country. He won by landslide. She won by a landslide, and that was criticized by so many people. This happens at a time where internet shutdown is taking control in Tanzania. Many people were actually protesting, saying that Samia Suluhu Hassan is becoming a dictator there in Tanzania. She was declared after winning, her party winning, that is Chama cha Mapinduzi, winning, and now she is the president for the next 5 years, for the next term. That is the president of Tanzania. Top government officials were there, including heads of state. We had the president of Burundi, Evariste Ndayishimiye. We had President Hakainde Hichilema of Zambia. We had the president of Somalia, that is Hassan Sheikh Mohamud. We also had the vice president of Kenya, Kithure Kindiki, and we also had our very own vice president, Her Excellency Jessica Alupo, over there. This is happening while the top opposition figure and leader of the Chadema party, the main opposition party, is behind bars. That is none other than Tundu Lissu. His party said Samia Suluhu Hassan did not go through a democratic election. The problem in Tanzania is that no one is allowed to challenge the results once they are released and the president is declared. There is no legal procedure that happens next that is in line with rejecting or not accepting the results. That is not there, and that is one of the reasons why the Chadema was excluded in the race, giving a very fertile ground for the Chama cha Mapinduzi and President Samia Suluhu to win by a landslide. That is it there. We congratulate the government of Tanzania and President now Samia Hassan Suluhu, and wish the very best to the people of Tanzania and our brothers and sisters here in Uganda. Now, today in history, we are remembering something special. The 4th of November. What happened? You have to watch this. Good morning.
To become the 44th U.S. president and the first African-American elected to the White House.
Let's remember that it was a man from this state who first carried the banner of the Republican Party to the White House, a party founded on the values of self-reliance and individual liberty and national unity. Those are values that we all share. And while the Democratic Party has won a great victory tonight, we do so with a measure of humility and determination to heal the divides that have held back our progress.
The 47-year-old Democrat garnered 365 electoral votes and nearly 53% of popular vote, while his 72-year-old Republican challenger captured 173 electoral votes and more than 45% of the popular vote. Obama's vice presidential running mate was Senator Joe Biden of Delaware, while McCain's running mate was Governor Sarah Palin of Alaska, the first female Republican ever nominated for the vice presidency.
Comes into the airspace of the United States of America. Where do they go? It's Alaska. It's just right over the border. It is from Alaska that we send those out to make sure that an eye is being kept on this very powerful nation, Russia, because they are right there. They are right next to our state.
Obama, who was born in 1961 in Hawaii to a white woman from Kansas and a black man from Kenya, graduated from Harvard Law School and was a law professor at the University of Chicago before joining politics in 1996 when he was elected to Illinois State Senate. He was re-elected to that post in 1998 and 2000. In March 2004, he rose to national prominence by winning the U.S. Senate Democratic primary in Illinois. Obama was elected to the U.S. Senate in a landslide. On February 10, 2007 in Springfield, Illinois, Obama announced his candidacy for president. In campaigns, Obama pledged to get the United States out of the war in Iraq and expand health care, among other promises. This did not take long, and on November 4th, more than 69.4 million Americans cast their vote for Obama, while some 59.9 million voters chose McCain, making Obama the first sitting U.S. Senator to win the White House since John F. Kennedy in 1960, as well as the first black president of the United States of America.
And to those Americans whose support I have yet to earn, I may not have won your vote tonight, but I hear your voices. I need your help, and I will be your president too.
He was inaugurated on January 20, 2009, and on November 6, 2012, he defeated Republican challenger Mitt Romney to win a second term in the White House.
Anything. It's that we cannot have a thriving Wall Street while Main Street suffers. In this country, we rise or fall as one nation, as one people.
His achievements include killing of Osama bin Laden, ending of the war in Iraq in December 2011, affordable health care, as well as receiving the Nobel Peace Prize in 2009.
So I come here with an acute sense of the costs of armed conflict. I face the world as it is and cannot stand idle in the face of threats to the American people.
Obama's presidency and legacy continue to inspire millions worldwide, symbolizing hope, progress, and the potential for a more inclusive and equitable society. Kenneth Rubatsimbira, Dig Talk TV.